See, this isn't so good. Let's make this better.
That's much better. My name is Carl. I am an indie filmmaker and an occasional photographer, and I guess kind of vlogger again. See, technically I was actually making YouTube vlogs back in 2012, 2013. So right now we're investigating the Boulder Theater down here in Boulder, Colorado. Doing this with the Haunted Explorations team out of Colorado. The vlogging landscape at that time was kind of completely different than what it is now. So I kind of wasn't really getting much traction, stopped doing it. They weren't very good. I wasn't very good at it. But I wanted to give it a try again now. Right now I need to load up this car. We need to head off to Estes Park because I got some work to do today and I'm running a little late. But first, I need some fuel. Can I get a venti brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso?
The $6.35.
Thank you. So we are here now, up in Estes Park, Colorado at the Stanley Hotel, where Aiden Sinclair has his new theater, The Underground. Now, Aiden and I have been friends for years, probably since about 2015 or so. He came up and performed at the Stanley Hotel during one of the paranormal events that I was at. And I just was like, this dude has the coolest style. He just seems like the coolest guy. I really want to shoot him. Not shoot him, yeah, photography. And so I convinced him to come down and do a promo shoot at my apartment in my studio. And he wound up, like, he doesn't really like having his photo taken very often, and he wound up having such a great time and he was so impressed with the pictures. And he was like, I'm using Carl for everything. And in a lot of ways, he really kind of kept my career afloat for years because as his kind of like magic performances and whatnot, his brand grew over the years. My filmmaking and photography skills kind of grew along with it. And so it's been a really good match. He just opened up the Underground Theater here at the Stanley Hotel, which is brand new. It's a theater space for him, but he's also got rotating magicians coming through as guest magicians throughout the summer and into the fall. And so I'm doing a lot of like promo work for each of those different magicians. And so that's what I'm here to do today. Right now we've got Elizabeth Messick, just got into town for 3 weeks, so I have to shoot her promo stuff before I leave tomorrow. And we've got Siegfried Tieber, he's gonna be here for another week. So I'm shooting his show tonight and her show tonight. And we're just gonna bang out a bunch of content. Then I'm gonna drive down the mountain, wake up early tomorrow, and hit the road. So it's gonna be kind of a busy day, but I think it's gonna be fun. So I'm here in Aiden Sinclair's Underground Theater right now, but it's super cool because you have to get in from like through this bookcase into a hidden door. It's badass. But anyways, this is the theater space. I'm not gonna share the stage right now either. I'd show you that too, but it's like covered with stuff because they've been doing some construction, so not gonna worry about that. But this is where we are. I've been shooting with Elizabeth for the last hour or two. So right now we're just kind of chilling out between shooting different things. The stage is all crowded with some stuff right now, and so we can't shoot there, so I'm just waiting on that. Elizabeth went to get some food, so I'm just sitting here transferring some footage. This lighting is not the best right now. It's giving me the raccoon eyes a little bit. So it goes. So I wanted to talk to you guys about why I've been putting vlogging off for a little while now. It's been something that I've wanted to do for a year, 2 years or so. I watch a lot of YouTube vloggers, but there was kind of 3 main things that were keeping me from doing this. Now the first of those things was gear, which I know there's a lot of people that kind of point out that like gear should be the last reason that you don't do something that you want to do. Like start low, grow into it, make the best of what you've got. And I'm the kind of filmmaker that like has built my career around making the best of what I've got. I shot the first season of the Project Hellier, which I directed and edited and did all that stuff for. It was just total personal indie passion project with my friends. We shot the first season of that on a Canon 60, a Canon 5D Mark III, just kind of the cameras that we had. And even at the time, they were not like the best quality of what was available to us. And for some projects, like I'd even be happy just shooting with like an iPhone. And that's kind of been the thing about my filmmaking is I really love knowing everything I can about the craft, taking whatever device I have and pushing it to the max with what I know in order to try to make it look a couple stages better than it might normally be. But for vlogging, there was just kind of some functional issues. So my filmmaking items has grown from the 60 to the Panasonic GH5S, and now I have two Z cams, which are like small cinema cameras. So I've never had a camera and a lens combination that supports autofocus. I've always shot my videos manual focus, and I've never even had any kind of stabilization system in the camera or the lens, let alone kind of like the flip out screen working well. The GH5S was close, but I never bought a lens for it. And of course, you have to have like decent audio as well. I'm trying to figure out an audio solution for an iPhone. The front-facing camera is the worst quality camera. And though I like to push the gear that I have, there's a certain barrier as well to entry that I want to get above before I started producing content. Because I feel like here in 2021, or last year in 2020, there's a certain quality expectation. And it can push you to do creative stuff, but that was just not the kind of like hoops that I wanted to jump through to try to make something that I think would be worth watching for you guys. I'm super open to other people doing it. I think you could do some incredible work with just an iPhone. But for me, I wanted it to be an easy and supplementary thing to the filmmaking that I do and not just like a whole challenge too much in and of itself. And so what I wound up buying for this was an EOS R. I had a little bit of money in the bank, and I'm going to be traveling a lot and shooting a ton of different projects for the rest of this year. Unless COVID locks us down again, we'll see what happens. But I decided now was a good time to invest. I went with the EOS R because it was kind of well placed in the landscape for me. I've got the 60, which I was using as my photo camera, but I figured if I'm gonna upgrade to like a vlogging camera, I may as well have something that takes a little bit better photo quality if it's out there, a little more megapixels. Some of my work is printed up very large on billboards and stuff on rare occasions. So it'd be nice to have a little bit more megapixels to work with, even just doing composite work to be able to crop in a little further or blow up my subject after I've cut them out of the background. And so I thought that could be kind of a double whammy. Now I have a ton of Canon glass, so if I wanted that autofocus to work, I needed glass that worked with the camera, so I wanted to stay in the Canon ecosystem. I love Sony. Menus and getting around can be kind of tricky. I was shooting on an FX3 back in June on a project, and it was very cumbersome. I thought it'd be a little easier than it was, but I love the image quality that comes out of Sony. And it's a cool camera because it can really double as an A camera for your filmmaking stuff and kind of a vlog camera. So it's awesome. I just didn't have any Sony glass, and I didn't want to double my investment just to get into vlogging. So the EOS R was perfect because the video quality is fine, it's easy to shoot with, it's that perfect like vlogger's camera, and it has a 50% boost in megapixels than what my camera had before it. So I can take 30 megapixel photos now, kill two birds with one stone. The second reason I was putting off this whole vlogging experience was really because I just didn't have that much going on in my life. And I like to not just be sitting behind my desk if I'm going to try to take you guys on something of a fun adventure or cool journey to see what I do. So I was actually thinking about getting into it back in 2020 in March or so because I had some stuff stacking up on the schedule. I was going to a film festival in Wisconsin back in March. Went to that, decided I wasn't going to jump into the vlog world yet, and I'm glad that I didn't because obviously, as we all know, COVID happened, everybody got locked down. My girlfriend and I live in like a 900 square foot apartment. It's like a 1-bedroom. She works from home. So it's really, really difficult to like do the vlogging thing in my own desk and not be a huge nuisance or disturbance to her. So didn't really take off, and I was glad that that was not the time that I started vlogging because that would have gotten very difficult very quickly. But right now I've got a lot of stuff coming up. So as I kind of mentioned, I'm up here at the underground shooting as much as I can before I just leave because I'm about to go on a 3-week trip out east to Ohio, Cincinnati area to hang out with Greg and Dana, who I shot Hellier with. We're going to be shooting another project, kind of a secret documentary project. Some of you might know what it is. We'll see how much I kind of share or spill the beans about on that trip. But we've been shooting that for years. I'll tell you more about it in the future here. But that's one of the things that I'm going to be doing before going up to Michigan Paracon and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So I've got some stuff going on now, and it just felt like a good time to start taking you guys along on this journey with me. Now, really the final thing that was keeping me from vlogging was like a worry about originality. And this one still kind of is the most true of all of them. I watch a lot of like filmmaking vloggers, Peter McKinnon, Matty Apoya, a bunch of those folks. I love what they're putting out. And I've watched so much of that that I kept thinking about, like, if I want to do this, what do I have to offer to the space that's different and unique that you guys might want to watch? And that didn't really come clear to me. I'm very like an inspiration type person. Like I'll watch something in maybe a different genre than I work in, and I'll take elements from that and elements of something else that I love and smash them together into something fresh and original. And vlogging's kind of difficult because there's kind of like a main kind of way or style or two to do it. And I am not necessarily the kind of creative to like think outside the box in an easy fashion anyways. And so with this, I don't have that like purely original idea yet, but I found from making my documentaries and stuff and all my projects that you can take that inspiration, and once you start to develop and shoot on your own style and techniques and habits are going to seep into that work, and that will make it different in and of itself. And so I figured, what the hell? I'll start just making this thing. I'm sure there will be a little bit of influence from the people that I watch already. That's going to happen, so don't blame me for it. I'm going to try to be different. But I wanted to let my own kind of style and personality uniquely influence what happens. So who knows in a month or two from now what this might look like and what this might become. Mostly I just have a lot of cool stuff going on, and I wanted to bring you guys along for it. This was mostly just kind of a simple video to start off with. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of the stuff that I've been working on lately, a little bit of the stuff that this camera can put out, and kind of give you an idea of like what was keeping me from diving into this as a new project. And maybe it sheds some light on yourself if you're interested in doing something like this. This is just kind of my logic. It's not really advice or anything like that, but it gets you into my headspace on where I'm at right now versus where I was at before. I don't know. I don't even know who you guys are, like what my audience is at this point. I know I have a lot of Hellier fans in the paranormal space, but the filmmaking world is a little bit more slim. So watching this, I don't know who it's for. This is really just a channel about stuff that I'm into. And I'm into filmmaking and I'm into paranormal creepy stuff. And we're just gonna see what develops by hanging out with my creepy friends, doing weird things, and shooting some video projects. So on that note, if you guys wanna actually go to the comments down below, let me know what kind of stuff you might be interested in. I would like to get to know who you guys are and what kind of content you guys might be interested in. When I'm going off to Cincinnati, I'm gonna go get up to some fun adventures with Greg and Dana. I'm gonna show you some behind the scenes stuff of what it's like to work on one of my projects. But I'm curious if you guys wanna know more about the gear, how I shot Hellier, how I did color grading on stuff like that. Just let me know, because I'm really curious what you guys are into and what you'd like to see more of, and find the balance between what I'm into and what I'm doing and what I wanna show you guys and what you guys wanna see. So I hope you guys come along, follow me on the Twitter, do the like, sub, Twitter, Instagram thing, and I'll see you guys in a couple of days here as I start a crazy road trip out east tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching, guys. Ooh, the footage is done transferring. How perfect.